Kia ora tātou, welcome back to the Wargaming Den. Another game of Warmaster this week. I popped down to Dunedin at the weekend and had a game of Warmaster vs Brian. It was his first game. We came up with 1250 point armies. I took down High Elves and Dark Elves. Tiff was also there and we were hoping to get a fourth player so we could run a couple of games, but that didn't quite turn out. So Tiff ended up helping out with rules and explaining the rules as we went. So this was definitely a learning game for Brian. Tried to come up with a couple of armies that just highlighted the various units of the Dark Elves and the High Elves. So pretty standard High Elf army, I would think. It's got 4 units of spears, a couple of archers, 4 of silver helms, bolt throwers, giant eagles, general, and a hero and an eagle with a sword of might. So 12 units, breakpoint of 6. So yeah, as I said, it's got a wee bit of all the key units to get a feel for how the High Elf army plays. And this is the army I've been working on the last couple of weeks, Dark Elves. I used to have a Dark Elf army back when I dabbled in Warhammer, way back in the late 90s when I was living in Japan, and just after. So I've kind of been replacing my old Warhammer armies, few as they were, with Warmaster version. So I've got 3 units of spears, some crossbows, a couple of units of witch elves, cold one knights, harpies, bolt thrower, general with the scepter of sovereignty to mitigate the leadership issues of dark elves, which is a pretty cool flavorful rule actually, and a hero. So just like the elves, 12 units, breakpoint 6. Again, good mix of units, so 2 small forces, but should give Brian a good feel for how the game plays. Right, we played on a 6x4 table. We just kind of set up our forces and got to it. So my Dark Elves are down the bottom here. Brian set up with 2 silver helms on each of his flanks here and here. He's got the giant eagles out wide. Then he's got 2 units of archers with 2 units of spears in behind. He's got 2 units of spears in column with the bolt throwers there. Then, as I said, he's got those other silver helms. There's his hero there. Generals lurking around here, I think. I wasn't too dissimilar. Put crossbows in front of the witch elves, the thought being that I can lead with the crossbows shooting, and then the witch elves can charge through when needed, trying to protect them from running off in random directions. So two units of those there and there. Bolt throwers beside those that brigade there. Single unit of cold ones in here to maybe disrupt things. 3 units of spears. I've only got 2 deployed because I forgot to bring one down. Tiff went and grabbed one of his, so thanks for that, Tiff. And then 2 units of cold ones. So we're just playing a pitch battle just to get a feel of the game. Brian took the first turn and he just advanced in a line, really. He passed all his leadership checks with his leadership 10 commander and just advanced onto that hill here. These guys were a wee bit slower because they had the bolt thrower attached. Silver helms went out wide and then using this wall here to defend his main block of archers and spears. So yeah, so no shooting or anything. We're far too far away for that. And my response was not dissimilar. Push forward with the cold ones, moved into the woods here. You can see that unit of Tiff's Dark Elves in the back there now. Cold ones protecting the flank. Just advanced the Witch Elves a bit here and then went wide with this brigade here into the woods as well. So again, passed all my leadership checks, no blunders or anything. So yeah, not too much action on turn 1. Brian's turn 2, not a lot of action. What he ended up doing though was actually moved back slightly with both of his silver helm units as I advanced. So just playing cautious at this stage. My turn, not too dissimilar. Pushed up the cold ones a wee bit, just got to the edge of the wood here with the spear units. The witch elves and crossbows advanced and just got into range of these bolt throws over here, if I remember correctly, and I think I may have even killed one with my shooting. The Cold One Knights moved out wide here, and then a double move from the Witch Elves into the open here, and then into that terrain to protect them from the Silver Helms as much as I could. So yeah, again, just a little bit of jockeying for position. Leadership 10 is very handy though. Quite happy with how my cold ones have turned out. Experimenting with various washes, and I've not used contrast type paints before, so trying with those as well on the cold ones, and quite happy with the way they've turned out so far. But this is Brian's third turn. He charged the Silver Helms into the cold ones, and we'll see how that battle unfolds shortly. Okay, Brian's turn, and he did a double move with his Silver Helms, charged into my Cold One Knights. This is actually, by the looks of it, in the second round of combat here. I forced the Silver Helms back. We've both taken a bit of damage in the first round. Giant Eagles were placed in behind my guys, so if Brian had won that combat and pushed them back into the Giant Eagles, the old infamous DBA Buttocks of Death maneuver, I would have been destroyed. So very happy to have won that combat and seeing how useful cold ones with their extra attack are. Same on this flank. What happened here though was in the shooting, can't have shot a bolt through it there, as you can see. They're still both there, so it must be my shooting. These guys were driven back quite considerably. I think they took 3 wounds, and Brian rolled about an 18 centimeter pushback. So what I did here is the Witch Elves took a step to the right. They moved out of the way of the retreating crossbow, which actually put me into a better position for on my turn. Then the crossbows retreated. So that means that these guys, because it's a 180 degree line of sight across the front face, they're actually in the front arc of these Silver Helms. So on my turn, I can turn and charge, and the Cold One Knights are going to do the same. Brian had come around here 2 moves, or it might have been 1 move, but he failed to charge into the flank of the Witch Elves enemy close, second or third order, and he failed. So he kind of set himself up nicely, but then the command rolls let him down. And back over here, the Cold One Knights eventually won that combat against the Silver Helms as well. So bit of action, and it's, as I think I've said before, with Warmaster, it's a wee bit hard to sometimes capture with these the ebb and flow of the battle, because you have 2 rounds of combat, and you can push back, you can advance, you can pursue and stuff. So the combats can be quite dynamic. So in the 2 rounds, and then if it's not completely over, you just park it, you hold it, and it continues in the other player's next turn. So it can be a wee bit difficult to capture all the nuances of the combat, but it's actually quite enjoyable just seeing how those combats unfold. Anyway, enough waffling from me. Okay, and I also tried the infamous Buttocks of Death maneuver with my Harpies and behind the Silver Helms here. Witch Elves crashed into the Silver Helms here. Cold One Knights then charged into the Silver Helms here, but because of the way you've got to line up, etc., wasn't able to get the third stand of Cold Ones into combat. Again, experimenting, trying out the new Vallejo Express contrast paints a wee bit. As I said, I'm not used to using contrast type paints, but I can see they've got a lot of potential, and I've brought a few colours and intend to experiment. So here we go. The Witch Elves charging into the Silver Helms here. I think I just lost that one, and the Cold Ones charged in here, and I ended up losing these combats from memory. But this is what I like to see. I think this may have actually have been my saving throws or armor saves, whatever it's called in this game, for my Cold One Knights. 3, 6, 9. So they took 11 hits and then I saved 9 of them. So that was pretty impressive dice rolling. Very happy to see that. And here's a quick shot of the second round of that combat. So the Silver Helms have engulfed and killed the Witch Elves and have then charged the Cold One Knights here. But, and I think that's where those dice rolls came to save me, that I saved 9 out of those 11 hit, so we ended up both doing 2 wounds to each other, and it ended up being a draw, so we both had to fall back. So very, very lucky for me. So Brian's Silver Helms fell back over here, so still in the flank of the Harpies, and it's about to be his turn, so he's put himself in a very good position here. I just retreated my Cold Ones over here beside the crossbows, and then over here you can see that my Cold Ones have destroyed the other 2 units of Silverhelm. So roughly I think it's about 3 might be, yeah, so I've killed 2 units, as you can see up here, and I've taken a unit of Witch Elves lost in reply, so I think it's about 2-1 to me if you're looking at victory points so far. And here we just have a bit of a flyover at the start of Brian's turn 4. So the armies are looking pretty good, and I like just the epic view of Games of Warmaster, checking ranges to various units. Okay, so the Harpies didn't like being hit in the flank by the Silverhounds, lost a unit so far. I think that combat may still continue. The other unit of Silverhelms came charging in here, killed the Cold Ones by the looks of it, and then, oh yeah, they did, because they put the character on the eagle in with them, gave them an extra 3, maybe 4 attacks, because it's got that sort of might, and they chewed up the Cold Ones and then hit these guys in the flank as well. So that wasn't ideal from my point of view. And then on the other side, yeah, I had killed a bolt thrower that last round in the shooting, and then his Brian's shooting had actually killed my bolt throwers. So I've lost the Cold Ones, I've lost some Witch Elves, I have lost a bolt thrower, so I've now lost 3, and about to lose those. So things are definitely in the balance on turn 4. And just from the edge of the table, looking down the length of the battlefield, I must take more of these photos. I actually quite look like the looks of those, but yes, that is where we are at the end of the High Elven turn 4. Okay, so I could see the game starting to slip away from me at this stage, so time to throw forward my infantry unit. So the spears have advanced over here. Crossbows in front of the Witch Elves have got into short range, so they get double rate of fire with their repeater crossbows, and they have confused the archers here. So I need to get into combat now and deal with some of these units, because yeah, I'm in a bit of trouble. Right, so the Harpies have been dealt with, so there's another unit down. These guys have been confused, so they're kind of blocking the Witch Elves. So what I did, they also lost a unit, so a stand. I took the stand from here. That meant my Witch Elves now have line of sight, so can still charge. They'll be able to charge, and then the other units form up around them. And I think I was also potentially pushed back over here from these archers, and so I did some shenanigans. I moved sideways to give way and then moved back again. It's actually worked to my advantage, I think, because it's allowed me to extend my line and hopefully I'll be able to charge. But on my turn, I need the combats to go my way because I'm now sitting at about 5.5 breakpoints. 6 is going to be the end of the game, and Brian is about 4.5, so it's really coming down to the wire. And here we go, some Dark Elven shenanigans. So threw in spear unit here, formed up the unit behind them in column. It's going to just give them one extra combat support, and that's because these other two stands didn't have enough movement to actually get into supporting positions. These other guys, though, have charged in column, and they're going to be supporting there. So hopefully I will win that one. Those guys stayed still, and there you go. The witch elves charged in against the archers, and I think I may have lost a stand of witch elves to the shooting on my way in with that charge from the archers. Okay, and this is where the order of combats is really important. So as you can see, yes, I lost a unit of a stand of witch elves, which means I'm only going to have 12 dice coming in here. So I should win, maybe. He's got 3 units supporting, 3 stands supporting, so that's a +3 on the combat factors. So if I charge here and I lose, I've got no supports. I'm going to lose the witch elves in order, and if I lose one more stand of witch elves, I'm going to lose the game. Pure and simple. So what I did is I actually did these combats over here. We hit the archers in the first turn, killed a stand. They retreated off the wall, so they're no longer defended. So first round of combat, I was hitting them on 5s rather than 4s. I can now hit them on 4s, and I have wrapped round. So what happened here is killed the archers. That gave us 5.5, and I think I killed 2 more stands here with my wraparounds, and managed to kill another half unit, which put Brian up to 6, but I also lost a stand which put me down to a breakpoint of 6 as well. So I won the combat there, but both armies broke, so the game ended up a very close draw. And if I'd fought this one here, I would have lost if this one had gone first, because the witch elves would have taken at least 3 hits in that first round of combat. I would have broken, and I wouldn't have been able to break Brian at the same time. So as I said, the order of combats can be really important in Warmaster, and that was a good example of that. And that's how it's looking at the end of the game. Score 6-6. So great game. Thanks, Brian. I hope you enjoyed learning the rules. I thought Tiff did an excellent job of explaining things without making it too complicated or bogging down with too much explanation throughout. And it was a good fun game. Really enjoyed the new Dark Elf army, and hope to be able to get a few more games in soon. So thank you for watching, everybody. I hope to have another report in the next wee while. I've got a plan to do the Battle of 3 Armies, 3 rounds of solo games using my Chaos, my Dark Elves, and my High Elves, each army fighting the others once, but try and do that maybe over the Christmas holidays if I get a chance. Anyway, enough from me. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next time, ka kite anō.